Hello and welcome to I Am Geek, and this is episode 79. I'm here, this is Ryan, and I'm here with my brother Chris and my good pal Katrin. Just the three of us tonight, just like old times.
Cozy. Just cozy.
So Halloween has come and Halloween is gone.
It gone.
Mm-hmm. Yep. No more. Last one ever.
Wow. That was so final.
Sad.
Jeez. That's kind of scary.
So that means Christmas is starting now.
Yeah, we saw a commercial tonight, and there was Christmas music in the background of the commercial. I don't remember what it was for, but it's starting.
Yeah. It started at Walmart like a month ago.
Oh yeah. Well, it's like I told you guys. I went to Home Depot, and Home Depot didn't have any. No, I'm sorry. Home Depot had some Halloween, but mostly Christmas. Lowe's had no Halloween, all Christmas, and this was last weekend, so Halloween hadn't even happened yet, and they were pushing it out the door.
Yeah.
But hey, it's what sells, I guess. I don't know.
Chris got a thing from Home Depot, right? You got a skeleton friend?
I got a skeleton. It was half off. It was just $15.
So which half did you get? Did you get his top half or his bottom half?
Just went with the bottom.
Oh, nice. Good choice.
Yeah, good choice.
Good best.
So the only one I found at Home Depot was one that glowed in the dark.
Oh, I found that one too, the green one.
Yeah, and that was like $17, and they didn't have the other one, so I was disappointed. I almost bought it.
No. We went in there. We saw the green ones just down there. They had a display one. It was up on the thing, and we were like, "Hey, can we just get that one?" And they're like, "Oh, let me check." And they're like, "Well, it says we got 27 of them."
Wow.
Don't know where they're at. So, like, 15 minutes later, I think we located them. It's going to take us an hour to pull them down, though. So, if you just want to pay for it now, you can come back and get it later. Okay.
That was weird.
A specific trip just to pick up a skeleton that we bought an hour ago.
So they just had a box of bones laying around somewhere.
They're like, we got to put it together.
Yeah, I came. We got to go kill some people out back and rip out their skeletons. We'll have a bunch of them for you.
That's number 12.
Are these things from IKEA? I don't get it.
Yeah, our Home Depot didn't have much, but I did get 3 of those pumpkins that are like jack-o'-lanterns that look like real jack-o'-lanterns, but they're fake. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Did you have lights in them to replace the ones in my windows? So
Fake lanterns.
Yeah, for $4. Not bad. $4.
Yep.
Yeah. Bad at all. Yeah, we got a lot of use out of our skeleton. I just kept putting it everywhere.
You did.
Yes, we did. Put it in my wife's office. Joked like, ha ha ha, she's working herself to the bone. A lot of dad jokes, basically, with it. We have company here, or her parents are in. I had to put it somewhere, so we have a hook in our bathroom. I just hung it up in there, but it like covered up the towel rack. So I just took the towel and I was like, well, I'll just shove it in the ribs. Oh, I got a bathroom attendant now. Great.
Good.
Always wanted one of those. And then yeah, of course, if you've been on YouTube lately,
we've gone viral.
It's the most viral video behind you.
Well, yeah,
for us.
Yeah. It's closing on 7,000 views. It's getting there, ticking up. But yeah, we got our Tesla, and it's got a summon feature that on your phone you can hit summon, and the car will pull forward or backward depending on which way you hit it. And we took the skeleton, put it in the driver's seat, and went out the garage, started filming, opened the garage door, and the skeleton drove the car out. That's
Ooh.
you too. Go watch it now.
Yeah, it said I Am Geek Show. Just type in I Am Geek Show on YouTube. It should pop up. But you guys got a message from Tesla and everything, right?
We did. They asked us if we're going to do any more. We didn't.
We did.
So we did.
We did. We're going to try to, but yeah, it was raining like all of Halloween because they were asking if we're going to do it to try and get people's reactions. And it would have been fun, but the combination of rain, dark, and kids running around, I really didn't want to hit a kid with a car.
It's a Tesla. It would stop, right?
It should, but kids, yeah. The kid, I can see a kid just keep running at it though. Like the car may stop, but the kid may keep going.
That's their fault.
The human element of all this.
Yes, the
Well,
human element.
you could get like a fake turkey and do like one for Thanksgiving and get like a fake like a reindeer or something for Christmas.
Yeah, we can do all the holidays.
Do one for every holiday. You're gonna be like Tesla, like famous.
Wow,
perfect.
Yeah. I think you should like every holiday, even like Arbor Day. Just put like a tree in there or something.
A tree.
The tree is driving the car.
President's Day, we get a George Washington, shove him in there.
George Washington.
He can't drive. That's crazy. He doesn't even have cars then. How would he know how to drive?
He doesn't have to. It drives itself.
This episode of I Am Geek is not sponsored by Tesla.
Oh,
Tesla, where cars will kill you.
What?
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 They definitely won't sponsor us if we say that.
No, that's not.
Maybe that's the wrong. Tesla.
Tesla, have it your way.
Have it.
That's Burger King, right?
No, it's Tesla, the fresh maker.
No?
It's the fresh maker.
Yeah, Tesla, the fresh
shocky ball thing.
The what? The ball thing.
You remember that the ball where you could put your hand on it, makes your hair stand up? You know that's the big glass ball with the Tesla in it. Is that what that is?
Tesla, we give away all our patents, go crazy and die.
What?
Wow.
You know what Tesla did?
Yeah, I think so.
Something like that.
Tesla, when you want junk in your front as well as junk in your trunk. Because it has two trunks.
It's called a frunk. It's called a frunk.
Well,
called a frunk.
Us Tesla owners call it a frunk.
Yeah, come on. Get it right. Jeez.
Anyways, well, Tesla doesn't sponsor anybody, so they're not going to sponsor us. So,
well, they might as well.
They can just give us free Teslas. What?
So they might have until you said they killed people.
I just meant that it's like a robot car, and robots are going to take over the world and then kill all humans. You know, it's a Skynet thing.
Oh,
that's what I meant.
Okay, well that makes sense. That'll happen. Yeah.
Yeah. Not that the car will. It'll be a robot car.
Yeah. It'll be intentional killing. It won't be an accidental.
No, not accidental. No, it will be intentional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense now.
Yeah.
Great.
Tesla, destroying your future.
Yes.
No?
No, probably not.
Okay.
That little screen's going to start talking to you one day. It's going to turn red. It's going to go, Chris, you are mine now. Beep, blah, bloop.
Beep, blah, bloop.
Say blah, bloop. That's how we talk.
Artificial intelligence has come a long way. Beep, blah, bloop.
Beep, blah, bloop.
Oh, man. So how was everybody's Halloween? What did you guys do?
It was rainy.
It was rainy here, too, off and on.
It was rainy here.
The end.
The end.
The end. That's Halloween.
Next.
So, Katrin, you went and rummaged through people's trunks on the inside.
They called it trunk or treat. It was supposed to be outside, but it was pouring down rain, so they thought ahead and put it inside.
How'd they get all those cars in there?
They did not put cars in there. It was a bunch of tables. So it was, and dimmed the lights a little bit, and put something on a screen and played pop music. And
all they handed out was lies.
It was a little crazy because everybody in the town I live in was there, I think. So it was a little crazy.
Did they have corn dogs?
No food, just candy.
Oh.
And the church provided all the candy, I think, for the people. So it was all the same candy. And it's just like they had these tables, and they could have themes set up at each of their stations. So a few of them did, but a lot of them did not, because they were like, well, we were going to plan on doing this outside, so it didn't work out. But yeah, it was fine. I mean, at least he got to wear his costume and go around. And we wore our Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head costumes, so we got to wear those one more time. So yeah, it was fine. We just didn't. We have a lot of candy because we got that, and we have the candy that we didn't hand out.
Oh, there you go. More for you.
So that's bad. But this is time to get ready for hibernation, I suppose.
Well, I mean, you got stocking stuffers now, so
yeah, for next year too.
That happened to me one year. That's what I got in my stocking. I
got
Halloween candy.
Hey,
because someone didn't get me other stuff. Anyways, our dad went to our dad. Someone. Our change the subject. Our dad did security at a. It's a funny story, but okay.
You don't have
to. I got old Halloween candy one year in my stocking.
There you go. That's it.
That's it. Anyways, our dad did security at a trick or treat, and they had corn dogs and funnel cakes. So.
Wow, that would have been amazing.
Oh,
and he kept laughing at people, laughing at the adults, carrying around a corn dog in each hand.
What else would you hold?
Yeah,
he's like, "Where's your kids?" I don't have kids.
So you know what? Sonic had 50-cent corn dogs. Yesterday.
Yes,
man, I totally missed out on that. And that would have been nice. You could have a bunch of corn dogs, like a bouquet of corn dogs for pennies.
You could have handed out corn dogs instead of candy to kids. That would have been funny.
Yeah.
Here's a hot corn dog. My bag is melting.
Here's the mustard. Just pull out your pocket. There you go.
Yeah. Man, I'll have to do that next year.
Amazing. Yeah, Sonic has their 50-cent corn dogs. You could buy a bunch.
Yeah. Or just get a box of frozen ones and just throw the frozen ones in there.
Ow!
Here's your corn
It'll
dog.
warm up by the time you get home.
Yeah.
Texas.
Take it under your armpit. Oh man.
Oh man.
What about you, Ryan?
Me? Oh, we saved Chris for last because he probably
are?
Well, we don't have to. I don't.
I'm fine going last, but I don't want you to be like, "Oh, best for last," because I mean, it's just like your hopes are getting.
Can you? Okay. Well, okay. Can you tell? Can you talk about the stuff that happened at your house, or will somebody get upset that you talked about it?
I don't think they will, because first, I don't think they listen.
Well, I meant maybe your wife would get upset.
Whatever. No, I mean, I'll just go ahead and tell my Halloween. So I always so her parents are in, and they came down to spend Halloween with us, and because we get a bunch of kids coming to our house. We're on a corner lot. We really do up our house. Our neighborhood calls us the Halloween house.
They want those corn dogs.
They want the corn dog. And so I always have to rush home, and I usually try and just put on something quick. I've got a red suit that I always wear, and then some variation of that. This year I had the Deadpool mask, so I put that on. So I can just come in and just put that on and go right out. My wife always does like a huge elaborate makeup on her face. This year she made it look like her face was melted. Really cool. And her parents, they said they weren't going to dress up. We didn't know that they were going to dress up, but they dressed up, and it was fun. It was cute. Her mom just had a regular mask on, and I think stockings. I was in a Deadpool mask. It was dark. I vaguely could see shapes for the most part. I wasn't sure exactly what all she was wearing. Her dad had a part I understood, part of I didn't quite understand. I still had to explain to me because I couldn't see. He had a giant potted plant on his head.
Yeah.
Like not on top of his head, like actually like over his head.
His head. Yeah, it was like
Facebook.
it was over his head. Yeah. So it was just his head was a giant potted plant. And he was wearing a dress with boobs. So they asked me to guess what he was, and it was really throwing me the dress part. I couldn't quite understand. They're like, "What's on his head?" I was like, "It's potted plant." Okay, first, just the first word. It's like, okay, potted. It's like, okay, well, just take the first of that. It's like, pot. Oh, he's a pothead. Okay, I get it.
But why was he wearing a dress?
I don't know. I didn't ask. It's funny.
Can you go wake him up? Because I really want to get to the bottom of this.
It was funny. I liked it. The potted plant, it was great. People loved it when they came up and saw him with the kids. The guy came up and like shook his head, shook his hand, because he came up and asked my wife, he's like, "So yeah, is he dressed as a pothead?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "You gotta shake your hand, sir."
Oh, and he knew he was a sir, even though he had a dress on with
he was a sir.
Hairy arms.
Yeah.
What? Sorry.
Spectacles?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
But no, it was funny. No, they looked great.
When I saw that picture, I was like, wait a second. They said that this was her mom and dad. Is there something that I don't know? Because I haven't seen them in a long time. Has he worn a dress any other time while he's been visiting?
Yeah, not that I've known. Not that I know.
Not that I know of.
Not that I know of. But no, it's I didn't quite get that. I'll have to ask him exactly what that was. I got the pothead.
Tune in next week on HalloGEEK when we find out why Chris's father-in-law wore a dress.
You never know. But yeah, I couldn't see, so like kids would be coming up, and I could make out shapes, like, and see that there were kids, but I couldn't really tell what costumes they were wearing because we had the lights hitting the house, and so it would like hit the cloth on the eyes, and that would like blind me even more. So I was like, okay, that's like pointed things on the head. Hey, Batman! Hey, there's Batman. Things like that.
I'm not Batman. I'm a unicorn with 2 horns.
Tricorn, or not tricorn, bicorn. A bicorn.
I like the pirates from never mind, Comic Palooza. You remember those guys?
I remember those guys.
Wait, I can't tell this story.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. We got some bicorns.
They had a novel they were working on, right, or something.
And asked if there was any unicorns in their fantasy novel, and they said they had bicorns.
Okay.
And I said, okay.
Okay. That's enough questions there.
Yeah.
A lot of Purge kids, a lot of like.
We had a lot of Purge kids too.
There's like a ton of Purge. I guess maybe the TV show, because the TV show plus the movies and everything. Ton of Purge.
I mean, a Purge costume is an easy costume. You just find a mask and get a weapon and say, "I'm going to kill you tonight only."
Yeah, I was like, "Oh, didn't know the Purge was tonight." Ha ha ha. There was some kid dressed up as the Nun. You know, the horror movie, The Nun.
Yeah.
And he came up and just like stopped at the bushes and just stared at us, trying to act creepy. And I just kind of walked up to him and I was like, "Oh, hey, you're back in the habit." He's like, "Yeah."
I did the same stuff with people because we could do that. We'll get to mine in a minute, but as Deadpool, you could just be a jerk to people.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah.
I I would have thought about it, I would have said, "Hey, Whoopi Goldberg." I didn't think about it then. But yeah, two girls came up like they were at the end of our driveway, and I heard them scream or something. I looked up, and they're like, "Finally, a Deadpool!" And they came running up. They're like, "Oh, we love it!" And I was wearing my suit, and one of them was like, "Oh, are you wearing the suit because you're going to go marry Death?" I was like, "Haha, yeah, you're right, I am. First, we got to fight off Thanos." But like that.
But you weren't just
overall,
you weren't just any Deadpool. You were dubbed a certain kind of Deadpool by one of the
I
kids,
was
right?
one of the kids. Yeah, came up and he was like, "Are you Principal Deadpool?" I was like, "I am Principal Deadpool." I guess this principal wears a suit. I don't know.
I guess a red suit every day. Come in, children. Go to your class. I'm your principal.
Welcome to Heck School. It's for kids, so it's Heck.
Yeah. Keeping it clean.
Yeah. Welcome to HE Double Hockey Sticks School.
So anything else happen, or that was pretty much your night?
That was pretty much it. Like a bunch of our we've had the horrible time with our decorations this year. The stuff keeps falling down and everything. We got this like lighted like haunted house type structure thing that's in front, and like the top of it fell over that night. I was trying to put it up. It was all wet and rainy. A couple lights went out.
It's cursed.
But it was cursed. But for the most part, it was fun. We handed out a ton of candy. We still got a bunch left. We do what everybody else does and just take it into work.
How many pieces did you start with?
We started with 10 giant bags.
Because last
year we had 8 giant bags, and we ran out within 2 hours.
Nice.
What?
We get a ton of trick-or-treaters come by our house, like in hordes.
I just had one bag of like
we had
400-piece bag. That's what I had.
No, we had 10 big bags. Last year we had 8. We had nothing left after 2 hours. This year, I guess the rain kept some away, so we didn't have as many. So we have like maybe 3 bags left or something like that. But yeah.
I'm coming to your house. I'm going to eat a bunch of candy.
I know.
You could definitely like fill Christmas stockings with candy now.
Oh yeah, that's what you're getting.
Yay! Just like old
you
times.
You get candy. Everyone look under their chair. Halloween candy.
Yay! Well, I mean, well, first off, before I got into my costume, because I guess because of the rain, there was a break in because it rained all day here. Like I thought it was just going to rain nonstop, but then there was a break in the rain, and it was like 5 o'clock or a little bit after 5 o'clock, and I didn't think people started trick or treating until 6. That's just what I thought, but I was wrong. Because at 5 o'clock, somebody came to the door, and I was like, "Oh gosh, we gotta get some candy out there." So so I missed the first people. They left because I couldn't get to the door in time. So I went out before I had my costume on, and I saw in the distance a little boy and his sister. Like I guess it was their sister. She was older and taller, and he was dressed up as Georgie from It. So he had the yellow rain jacket on with one arm missing, bloodied up, that sleeve, and he he didn't have a balloon. So I ran in the house and I grabbed a balloon from our closet because we had a bag of balloons. I don't know why. Just have a bag of balloons in our closet, you know. You just never know when you need a balloon. And I blew it up and hit it behind my back, and he walked up And he said, trick or treat. And I go, you want a balloon, little boy? And he looked at me like, what the heck? Where did he get a balloon? And he grabs some candy and he goes, not tonight, Pennywise. And he just ran off. And his sister was like, I guess his sister was like dying laughing. And I'm like, you want some candy too? Because she was just standing back away. I'm like, come up and get some candy. So she came and got some candy. And she was like, that was great. But it was so funny. He like refused to take the balloon. And he just like, not today, Pennywise. Ran off.
Nice.
Well, that implies that any other day is a possibility, though.
Yeah.
So
it was
Maybe tomorrow.
really funny.
maybe tomorrow.
And then my wife took our son trick or treating. He was dressed as a doctor and she was a nurse. And our daughter was dressed as a horse, sort of. It was a weird. It was a weird outfit. It was like a onesie thing with pants, but one of the arms was like the horse's neck and head. It was weird.
Mutated horse.
Yeah, it was weird. I don't know. It's just supposed to be a horse, I guess. Anyways, so they went trick or treating, and I put on a costume, and I put on like you from Comicpalooza. We both had Deadpool masks. I had one that I made.
Yep.
You had one that you bought.
Of course.
Yeah. So mine was supposed to be X-Force Deadpool. He's gray with red eyes. Nobody knew who he was at Comicpalooza, and people didn't know who he was last night either. But I put the Deadpool mask on, X-Force, and then put a Deadpool t-shirt on just so people would know with my bathrobe. And went and sat in a chair.
Not just any bathrobe.
Oh, the only bathrobe I have is a Boba Fett bathrobe, so...
Yeah.
So I put that on. So I look pretty ridiculous. But, at the end of the first movie, if you said after the credits, Deadpool is in a bathrobe, and he's like, why are you still here? The movie's over. Go home. So the Ferris Bueller thing. So I thought it would be funny. And the first kid, when I walked out from getting my costume on, there was a Deadpool, and he had just walked up to our house. He was walking away. And I yelled at him, I said, Deadpool, come back. And he turned around, and he immediately said, it's Deadpool. And he came back to get his picture taken with me. And he goes, I think you're Uncle Deadpool. So you were Principal Deadpool. This guy said, you're Uncle Deadpool, and I'm Deadpool. And I was like, okay, I'm Uncle Deadpool, I guess. Creepy Uncle Deadpool in his bathrobe on the front porch.
Yeah. Calling kids to come up to his house.
Yeah.
Gives them treats.
Like, come here, kids. I mean, I was like, did the whole just being. I mean, I didn't like cuss and stuff, but I was like the jerk, just like, kids, come on up here, get your candy. I think at one point there were some teenagers, and I said, get off my lawn.
Yeah, some dad or something yelled out. I was like, "Hey, you handing out inappropriate jokes for Halloween?" I was like, "As many as I can."
Yeah. And then, so I did a bunch of stuff. Like, there was these two kids came. One was dressed up as Spider-Man, and one was dressed up as Venom. The Venom guy was a little older, but neither one of them had masks on. And to the Spider-Man, he was a smaller kid. I was like, hey, Spider-Man. I was like, what are you doing? Where's your mask? Peter. And he just sort of looked at me like, I left it at home. I'm like, okay, Peter Parker, get your candy. And then the older brother was like, I mean, he wasn't a little kid. He was, he was old enough. But then the older brother was dressed as Venom with no mask. And I'm like, you supposed to be Venom? And he said, yeah. I was like, where's your mask? And he goes, it won't fit my head.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then I go, that's okay. I'm like, I'm supposed to be Deadpool, and this is where he should have stopped. He shouldn't have said this. He goes, well, you don't look anything like Deadpool. And I said, X-Force Deadpool. He goes, what? And I go, go read a comic, kid. And then he left. Because he was being rude, and not only from what he said, but here's the difference between when I was a kid and when we were kids. When we went trick or treating, we would go to people's doors, you know, knock on their door, ring the doorbell. A lot of people don't do that now; they just stay outside the whole time, which is what our neighborhood did.
Mm-hmm.
But you would go up, you'd say trick or treat, and then the person would hand you candy and put it in your bag, right? Right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, from what kids don't do that nowadays. They would walk up and just reach over to you into your thing and grab as much candy as they wanted. Well, these kids, especially these kids, I had candy in my hand to put in their bag. They looked at me like, nope, I'm getting my own candy. And then they bent down and searched through and got everything that they wanted. And then, so that's why I was like, oh, you want to be like that kid? Okay, I could be rude to you too. And they were doing that all night. Like most of them weren't rude about it, but they would just be like, I'm picking out my own candy. And it's like, really? Like, take what I give you. I could give you. I could be giving you corn dogs right now.
Freaking free candy.
I know.
I could be chucking frozen corn dogs at your head.
So times have changed from when I was a kid. Like, I don't know. Kids
Hopefully they don't egg your house and roll it though. That's all that.
Well, it was raining, so I don't think anybody was going to do that last night.
Oh, okay.
But we had like Purge kids, and we had somebody. Was it Michael? We had a Michael Myers, and he tried to be creepy, and like just stand in our yard. And I was just "Hey, Mike, want some candy? Hurry, come up here!" And then he was like, "Oh, okay." He came up, and I gave him some candy, and then somebody had a big bloody knife. I don't know if it was the Michael Myers. I think it was somebody else. It was like a Purge person, I think. I was like, "Yeah, purging." I'm like, "You're gonna cut my head off?" And he sort of laughed, and I said, "You can, because I'm Deadpool, and it will grow back." And then he was like, he started laughing really, like, a lot. He was like, that was funny. And then one kid was dressed up as Spider-Man, and he came up, like a little kid. He's like, "It's Deadpool, it's so fun." And I'm like, "Kid, you're too young to know who Deadpool is."
Yeah. Why do all these kids know who Deadpool is?
And the mom was like, "I know." She was like, "I came home the other week, and he was watching Deadpool with his dad, and now they are both in trouble."
Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. But most of the parents like laughed at me and stuff. Probably at me. Yeah.
Most of the kids and the dads knew who it was. There was just one mom. They were walking up, and she's like, "Oh, hey, look, it's Spider-Man." And the dad's like, "No, it's not. It's Deadpool." She's like, "What? Looks like Spider-Man." No,
he's red.
The kid's like, "No, mom." It's like, "No, mom, it's Deadpool." It's like, "Well, it looks like Spider-Man to me."
There was two teenage girls that walked up, and I was just sitting in the chair. And Grant, at that point, my son was sitting beside me because he wanted to help hand out candy. And I was just sitting there. And when they walked up, and I wasn't wearing gloves or anything. I mean, I was moving. I was talking to my son. You could pretty much tell that I was alive. They walked up, and I was like, "Hey, girls, want some candy?" And she screamed and like freaked out. And I'm like, "What's wrong?" I'm like, I'm just Deadpool, just friendly Deadpool." And she's like, "Oh, any person in a mask just scares me." It's like, I'm so scared of people in masks. I'm like, well, this, sort of the wrong night for you to be out.
Yeah, that's Halloween.
Everybody's in masks, so it was fun. I had a lot of like Purge people. I had a lot of fairy princess unicorn things.
Good.
And I would say, "Oh, are you a unicorn?" And they're like, "Yeah, that's fine." I'm like,
Okay.
You just want candy. I get it. You don't want to talk about your costume. Here's your candy. And then there was like a football player, looked like a legit football player, but he was carrying a knife. And I'm like, "Football player with a knife, huh?" And he's like, "Yep."
It's a killer tight end.
Yeah, I guess. I didn't look, but
he's got a killer tight
end. Sports humor.
Wow.
So I don't know what my neighbors thought of me in that outfit, but the neighbor across from me goes, "I gotta get me a costume for next year." I'm like, "Yep, But I threw this costume literally together the last second. I was like, what am I going to do? And I was like, wait, I got the Deadpool mask. I have a bathrobe. Well, there we go. That works. So I just did that.
Yeah, I just threw my mask on. And Jenny was like, you got more comments than I did, and I took 3 hours to put my makeup on, and all you did was put a mask on. I was like, well, he was smarter.
Yeah.
I tried to make a mashup costume one year, and I ended up not wearing it because it was kind of scary. Ended up being because I had a blonde wig, an apron with I had like blood on my hands, and I just kind of wiped it on the apron, and then I had a pipe and something else. I don't know, but I was like, I probably shouldn't do this. I just grabbed all these pieces and parts of different costumes.
We got it. Okay, so you had a blonde wig, a pipe, an apron with blood on it.
Yeah, and probably an eye patch.
And an eye patch. So what? So you was like, you could have been like lunch lady, or something.
Yeah, it was weird.
Mashed up of Martha Stewart and Hugh Hefner.
Yeah, I think so. So we had it was a Hugh Hefner pipe because we did. I think we had I think I was Hugh Hefner one year or something, or I don't remember. And then she had the blonde wig to be a because it was. You remember that? Do y'all remember the show that they had on for maybe it was on MTV or something, where it was they followed some of the girls. It wasn't.
Yeah, the bunnies.
Yeah.
The something next door, girl next door.
Yeah, girl next door. Yeah. So that was popular then. I think that's what we were. I don't remember, but yeah, we had that pipe, and then she had the wig. So I was like, I'm going to throw this all together.
I know who you were, but this was probably before that was out. You were the lunch. You were the lady from Gravity Falls. That sounds like her. The lunch lady or whatever from Gravity Falls. Was she a lunch lady?
She works at the restaurant.
Yeah, the restaurant. The waitress.
There you go.
Yep.
She had like the bad eye.
Mm-hmm.
That was who you were. There
Yeah, so it was. There you go.
There you go. So that was our Halloween night. After that, I went and got dinner for us because I forgot we didn't have dinner.
I need to eat.
So
eat something besides candy.
Went to Mod Pizza, got some pizzas.
Nice.
And there was two girls walked in. Well, there were three girls, but one wasn't dressed up for some reason, but the other two were, and they were Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy, like spot on
awesome.
costumes. It was so great. I was like, "Oh, your costumes are the best." And then a lady working there was dressed up as Woody from Toy Story, and I was going to yell out, "Andy's coming!" But there was like a cop in there beside me, and I figured, okay, I don't want to be tackled. Tonight. So
Who's Andy?
Yeah.
Who's Andy you speak of?
Is that drug talk, boy?
Are you selling or buying?
So I didn't do that. But the Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy were great. I don't know why their third friend just wasn't dressed up, but
maybe she was.
Well, if she was, then she was just.
It was something obscure.
Dressed up as normal girl.
Was she wearing just like a shirt and no pants? Could have been Squidward.
Yikes.
Oh no, she was painted completely pink and was wearing Hawaiian, shorts.
Oh, I don't know.
No
clue.
Yeah.
You know what's weird? I think I saw somebody say this one time. In Muppet Babies, Kermit has clothes, but when he's an adult, he doesn't wear clothes, and all of the other Muppets wear clothes, pretty much.
Maybe he's just wearing a green leotard.
No.
I
mean, frogs don't wear clothes, anyways. But
in the Muppet Babies, was he just wearing a shirt, or was he wearing a shirt and shorts?
I don't know. We watched them
in pants.
Like,
a shirt and shorts. He had shorts on too.
Yeah. You know what's weird?
Well, why does Donald Duck just wear a shirt and no pants?
Right? Yeah.
These are the questions that we have to ask ourselves.
But when he goes swimming, he has a full swimsuit on.
Yeah,
he does. Yeah. Why do some animals talk and some don't? Right. So why doesn't Pluto?
Yeah, Pluto and Goofy. Yeah.
He's not allowed. See, Pluto's not allowed to talk.
Well, he's a pet. It's
Well,
one.
well, I don't know if he's
Maybe
a pet, but
maybe Pluto was a friend that got in a horrible accident
maybe
and
so.
was just.
Or
He's
maybe
just
Goofy got in a horrible accident and became this
of
weird
course,
tall
Mickey.
monstrosity. Mickey's birthday's like coming up, right? Mickey's birthday's
I
like
think it already passed.
already passed. Oh, they have some special on TV that's coming up. I think celebrating it. I don't know. Maybe not.
Maybe.
Sure. Anyway, so that was our I guess our Halloween.
Great.
I continued Halloween tonight and went and saw the new Halloween movie.
When you sent that text, I thought you were going to go to places that had Halloween stuff that would be on sale.
Oh.
Like you're going to Walgreens to get all the stuff that was on sale. It's like, okay. Then I was like, oh, he meant the movie Halloween.
Yeah. It was good. I liked it. Chris, you saw it too.
Yeah,
right?
It was good.
Right?
Yeah, I liked it too.
I thought they did good job. Did you have any jump scares or anything during it?
Not really. Like there was one that was kind of more of like a startle. It was like a scene where it was like kind of quiet. They just finished the conversation and it jumped to her shooting her guns. And it was just a loud noise. So it was just a loud noise all of a sudden after silence. And I was just like, oh, okay, all right, she's shooting her guns.
Yeah, I usually never get like jump scared. But they got me on this movie in one scene.
Oh, they did.
They got me. It is the dumbest thing that got me. It wasn't Michael Myers. It wasn't shooting guns. It was nothing. It's when that stupid boyfriend that goes over to the babysitter's house and he pops out. And he's like, hey, I'm here. And it made me jump. It got me. She's like outside and she takes the trash out and she's like, it's sort of the music gets so creepy and stuff. And you're like, oh gosh, he's gonna, what's going on? And then this boyfriend jumps out and goes, hey, I'm here. Oh. And I was like, what? And it made me jump.
It sounds like the Scream movies, the original Scream movie, because it seemed like they had stuff like that always happened.
Yeah. Well, I didn't understand, like, what babysitter takes out the trash? Like, really? A dedicated babysitter. Yeah. She was I liked her character. Like, I was kind of sad,
Yeah, I liked the kid that she was babysitting. He was hilarious.
Oh, he was great. He was the guy from Get Out. That was his kid, I think. Pretty sure.
Oh, the
real life.
The
TSA guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like a mini TSA guy from Get Out.
He was like,
don't put there.
Yeah, he was like, if you're a good babysitter, you'd have me in bed already. And shit, I'm clipping my toenails because he was sitting there clipping his toenails. She's like, go to bed. But he was like, yeah, there's something up in my room. And she's like, no, there's not. Well, she shouldn't have gone up there. And then he goes, what was the boyfriend's name? Steve or something? He's like, send Steve up there first. And then when he runs down the stairs and Steve's like, what's going on? He goes, Steve, don't go up there. You're going to die.
And then you never saw him again.
Well, you saw him later. Oh, yeah, you didn't ever saw the kid. The kid was like gone. He's like, nope. He just left. He was like that kid on the Jimmy Kimmel thing when she saw. Nope. He was like, nope. And he was just gone.
Oh, by the way, spoilers.
Oh, spoilers. Yeah, I mean, that doesn't really spoil like any of the plot or story.
No.
It was just
kind of expect a bunch of
funny scene. But yeah, I liked it. I liked the way they went with it. I liked it. I mean, we can give spoilers. I don't.
Cage your mind.
That's true. He's like, I'll never watch
it. No.
But
yeah. The only thing that not that I hated or anything. It was the ending, like the ending shot that they did. It was just, I don't know. It was a little anticlimactic after everything that happened
with the knife.
Just, I don't know. Yeah, it was just the close up of the knife. I was just like, eh.
I think that was a callback to older horror movies because they did that a lot. It would just be like a freeze frame on something at the very end. They may have even done that in Halloween. I'm trying to remember. It's been a while since I've seen it.
I thought the end of Halloween was the shot of the neighborhood and all the police cars and everything going crazy.
Probably.
And you didn't.
There were movies that had that kind of ending where it was just like this weird freeze frame. But there was a lot of Easter eggs in this movie if you're familiar with the Halloween franchise.
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
You can look and you can find the masks from Halloween 3. I didn't see the witch mask, but I may not have missed it.
Yeah, there was something.
I saw the skeleton and I saw the jack-o'-lantern mask because they were featured very prominently on some kids. And
there was a section where he stops in front of a house and there's a girl dressed as a nurse and a doctor getting into a car to drive off. That's supposed to be reminiscent of the Halloween 2 where he goes to the hospital.
Yeah, and they had they had the laundry line scene, and I just thought they did a good job with it. I wish the police officer made it, but he didn't.
What?
he didn't make it.
Yeah.
And this one I missed Loomis, but I know
Oh yeah,
that couldn't
happen. Actors passed.
That couldn't happen.
Yeah. They had his voice. They had
they had a recording of his voice.
Like cut scenes or something from other movies.
Yeah. And they had another doctor, which that would
I love like when character Lori, when she meets him, she's like, "Oh, you're the new Loomis."
Yeah, that was great. I was like laughing out loud. People were like, "What?" Like, oh, you're the new Loomis. Except the new Loomis was cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like big time.
Yep. Crazy people running the asylum.
Yeah, but there was a lot of Easter eggs. They had someone with a sheet over them like a ghost. That was from the original. Mm-hmm. But I thought they did a great job with it. I'm sure they'll make another one. They had it wasn't an end credit scene, but it was very interesting what they did. They just had his breathing at the very end, sort of like, oh, he's still alive somewhere. Because the whole sort of thing of the movie was, is he just this crazy serial killer guy, or is he the actual boogeyman? That was the whole, and Laurie Strode was like, no, he's the boogeyman. He's evil. So at the end, you hear the breathing, and then right after you hear the breathing, the Universal logo pops up, but it's not the Universal movie logo. It's the Universal Theme Park and Resort logo, and it said Universal Theme Park and Resort, which was very interesting that they did that. Which means, is he coming back to Halloween Horror Nights next year in the form of this movie, A Maze? Are they going to do something like they did with Walking Dead, where they have some kind of attraction based around Michael Myers there all the time? I don't know, but it was interesting. I'm like, why did they put that at the end?
They've already got you hooked for Halloween Horror Nights for next year, even though this year was a bummer.
Everybody loved this year, but me, I think. So, but they are, speaking of Halloween Horror Nights, the Stranger Things house, which has been one of the most popular houses of all time, which I actually liked. That was probably my favorite house that they had. They're going to open it up for daytime guests for one day only here within the next week, which is interesting. All right, let's go. Yeah, let's go. So they said from basically the operating hours of the day, they're going to have the house open for people to walk through, and it's going to be just like it was at Halloween Horror Nights during the night, which is interesting because, why are they doing this? So they're saying they're doing it for Stranger Things Day, which I guess is an actual thing.
Yeah, I think I saw that. Netflix announced that or something.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if they're testing the waters for a daytime attraction like they did with The Walking Dead in Hollywood. Because they have a Hollywood Walking Dead house there that's year-round, day or night.
Mm.
So maybe they're testing the waters to see like if people will walk through this during the daytime. So it could be interesting.
Pretty cool.
Could be interesting. Now I went and saw Halloween tonight, and you did something pretty cool, Chris. That I've experienced. Katrin still hasn't experienced it. I experienced it in Orlando, but you experienced it in Dallas.
In Plano, Texas.
Well,
Dallas adjacent.
Yeah.
Yeah. I went to the Void. I went to Star Wars: Secrets of the Empire. Oh my goodness, it was awesome. Like, it was so cool. The like, what surprised me probably the most, which is just a geeky thing to be like just geeking out about or whatever, is that so you put the vest on, you put the helmet on, they lead you into the room. They're like, okay, put the mask down and see if you can see your hands, see if you can see the person in front of you. I went with my father-in-law. We were having fun there. And I lifted up my hands to look at them. And you don't have gloves on or anything to indicate. So there's no sensors or whatever that's feeding it back on your hands. It's just reading it visually. And I would wiggle my fingers, and like the fingers wiggled right along with my fingers, like pretty much 1-to-1 movement, and it was insane. That was so cool. Like, I didn't expect that at all. Like, I mean, I put my hands together and they would like freak out, but
Yeah.
But just like wiggling my fingers was so cool. Yeah, we went through it. It was really cool. He'd never done anything like this before, so like when you're supposed to cross these platforms and it's like a dead drop off on either side, and he's just like, oh no, I don't know. I don't know if I want to do that.
He thought he was going to fall to his death.
Well, he didn't think that, but it's just that visual thing where like he knew there wasn't, but it was just kind of like, yeah, I don't know. But yeah, it was so cool. You could feel the heat from all the lava and everything. I was like, when am I getting the gun? I want to get the gun. I want to get the gun.
Did you step on the lava?
I didn't. I just kind of looked around. I just kind of walked around.
Oh, you should have. There's a part where you can step on it and it's like squishy. Or it was in Orlando. Yeah, it was like squishy. It was like a different texture.
Yeah, I didn't really see necessarily where you could actually step on it. So I'll have to look again. I'm going to go back. But yeah, we got to the room where you're supposed to do the code or whatever.
Yeah.
So because of being on the podcast, I know you're just supposed to shoot the two consoles, get out. But like, I didn't want to just like rush through it or anything. So I'm hitting all the buttons. Like, oh, I'm hitting the buttons. What's going to happen? I can't. Nothing happens.
Supposedly you can do it and it works. Somebody told me that they did it and it worked, but I don't know.
I didn't quite understand because it was in one room. I guess he shows you what you're supposed to put in, and then you're supposed to go back to the other room and push it in or something. That was a little confusing to me. I didn't really.
Oh, that might be a little different than Orlando then.
Because it was like two rooms. There was like one room where he was in, and in another room you're supposed to hit the buttons. So you run in one room.
In Orlando, there was two rooms, but the room that he was in had the buttons, and the other room had these other buttons you could press to shoot guns at stormtroopers.
Oh no, there was like almost like kind of the same thing in each room. But yeah, I just kept shooting at stormtroopers, and finally I was like, you know what, I'm just going to shoot the console. And I shot the consoles, and it led us through. And yeah, and it was just fun. I didn't realize the creatures, the lava creatures. I don't remember you guys talking about that.
Oh yeah, I forgot about those. Yeah.
Yeah, there's like throwing fireballs at you and everything, and shooting those. That was cool. And then Darth Vader, like seeing Darth Vader shooting at him. Of course, he just
blocks him,
shoots everything off, ricochets everything. I got hit a few times. I didn't get hit a lot. I got hit a few times, yes, but it was fun. I put in my information to get my score or whatever. It never sent to me though, so I don't know what my score was.
What did you think when the doors first opened and the droid was standing there like looming over you?
Oh, that was so cool! That was so cool. I was like, oh. I'm a leaf in the wind.
And then they said that while you were there that there's going to be they're going to do Wreck-It Ralph there.
Yes. So yeah, in Plano, November 21st, they're getting a Wreck-It Ralph themed one, and they're still going to have Star Wars. They're just going to kind of. They didn't know exactly how they're going to do it, but it was like maybe one night will be one thing and another night be another, so you could do them both still. They had a Halloween one, but it ended yesterday.
Oh.
It was almost like an escape room type thing, is what it looked like. We didn't get to go do it, but it looked cool from the pictures. So I definitely recommend everyone go do this. It is so much fun. I'm going to do it again.
I want to come up and do it with you.
Yes, you
I'll have
do.
to find some time to come up there.
All right, tomorrow. See you tomorrow.
I wish.
It's the weekend.
I wish. I'll have to bring the kids. Jenny, want to watch them?
Yeah.
Silence. Oh. Anyways, so wow, I just sort of blacked out. Anyways, so wrapping up the Halloween stuff, but I watched a little bit of the Ghost Adventures live that they had last night because we're big Josh Gates fans, and he was sort of the host of it. You DVR'd it. You haven't watched it yet. And
no.
I told you before we started, save your time. I just watched a little bit of it. I didn't watch the whole thing. But the big thing was that there's this Ghost Adventures. Is these guys. I don't know. Is there 3 or 4 of them? I don't know. And they go around and look for ghosts in places, haunted places. And the main guy has a museum in Las Vegas where he stores all his creepy artifacts or whatever. I don't know. Anyways, so basically the show was an advertisement for his museum because he's like, we've got this thing called a Dybbuk box or something like that that's in my museum that's never been opened, and it contains a demon. And tonight, live on Ghost Adventures on the Travel Channel, we're going to open the box and see what happens. And so they're been pumping this thing for months, advertising it. We're going to open the box, this box that shall not be opened because of the horrors that are inside of it. We're going to open it up. So it was like a 3 or 4 hour thing. And they kept just going through the museum, telling about all the different things they had. They talked to some weird doll at one point. It was supposedly haunted. It was just dumb. And then at the end of the night, when they're supposed to open the box, what do? They don't open the box.
Oh.
They're like, no, it's just too horrifying, too terrifying to open.
Because there's nothing in it.
We can't do it. Tune in next week.
Or keep my loose change.
Yeah, come see it for yourself at our museum, basically.
Come give us your money.
So nothing happened. They didn't open anything.
No.
I think the only thing that the cameras captured for the whole 4 hours were some floating orbs or dust particles.
Dust. Oh gosh. Yeah, we were watching the Expedition Unknown, like about the afterlife and all that, and they had the section where they had like the original ghost hunters, some of them on there, and like they did the thing where they had like the Xbox motion capture sensor where it's got all the ultraviolet light or whatever it is shooting out with all the dots, and like Josh Gates went and sat there, and you could see his like digital like skeleton, like almost like a stick figure sitting there, and the guy's just holding it, and he's moving it around, and so really those things are meant to just like sit there on something so that it could register people well.
Yeah.
And he's moving around, so suddenly the stick figure of him disappears, and there's another one that kind of almost looks like it's basically laying down across his lap, and they're like, oh, "What's that?" There's somebody there.
There's something on the Xbox.
I'm like, no, it's just malfunctioning because you're moving it around. That's his skeleton, and it's not syncing up correctly. And Jenny was just like, you got jaded since the show's been on.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't help it. I've seen things.
I've seen things. I've seen things I can't unsee. So yeah. I watched the first part of that Afterlife thing, but I haven't watched the other part of it. So.
It's good. They're all good. Even that section's good because they're on the Queen Mary, and it's just kind of cool to see all that. But yeah, all the Ghost Hunter stuff anymore, I'm just kind of like, that's easily explained.
Well, it's been on for how many years, and they've never found anything. So it's funny to watch sometimes, but
yeah.
If you like these shows, we're sorry if we offended you, but it's pretty funny that it's all a marketing, thing to get you to watch.
I do miss Ghost Hunters though. We watched Ghost Hunters on Wednesdays, get pizza. It was fun.
Oh. Well, speaking of ghosts.
Oh,
segue.
Segue.
I challenged the guys. We've been planning. I mean, so much planning has gone into this next section of the podcast.
Minutes at least.
Minutes of Googling on our phones before we started. I said, okay, this is what I want you guys to do. I want each of us to find a ghost story, quotation mark, that has to do with the towns that we live in or the areas we live in. So Katrin's in Memphis area, Chris is in the Dallas area, and I'm in the Houston area. Mm-hmm. So I just Googled Houston ghost stories, and you guys Googled Dallas. Well, first Chris he did another town and came up with Zippo.
I found stuff from there eventually.
Yeah. But so we each have a story, and I thought we could tell it, and then we could. We're already at an hour. Oh, maybe we don't tell stories. Yeah, we can tell. We can tell stories real fast, and that will end out our HalloGEEK
2018.
So we'll tell our stories. We'll talk about them for a minute, and then we're moving on to Thanksgiving, I guess, or Geeksgiving.
Mm-hmm. Geeksgiving.
Yeah. Slapsgiving.
What?
Slapsgiving.
Slapsgiving?
Did y'all not ever watch How I Met Your Mother?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay, yeah, I remember that.
They would slap each other. So funny. Really hard, too.
So who wants to start with those spooky stories?
I will.
Ooh. Oh. Dim the lights.
Oh, man. They do that. Hold on.
Oh, dim the lights.
Dim the lights. The Orpheum Theater. Probably Memphis's most famous ghost.
What is this for?
Okay. This is the story. So there's the Orpheum Theater in Memphis. Probably Memphis's most famous ghost, Mary, is the ghost of a little girl that was killed when she was hit by a trolley outside of the Orpheum. Though she is known to play childish pranks in the theater, opening doors, laughing out loud, etc., she is most frequently spotted in her favorite seat, C5. In addition to Mary, paranormal investigators believe there are as many as 6 other spirits residing in the theater, making this downtown building one of the most haunted places in Tennessee. There was another story about this too that said it was in 1928. No, I'm sorry. The theater was built in 1928. She was 9 and she wears a white dress and pigtails, and she died in front of the theater. She watches the performances and greets employees with slamming doors and flickering lights. The masked, why is it masked? Ghost is said to live in the theater's upper air ducts and sometimes waves from the air ducts during the performances.
What?
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense.
Okay. Yeah. So do people see the little girl?
That's what it says, I guess.
In the air ducts.
In the air ducts. Or they hear her. It reminds me of at East Tennessee State where we went to school.
Oh, yeah.
At one of the halls, they had you could hear these marbles dropping in the dorms, and
I heard this many times.
Some little kid that was the son of a girl that lived there or whatever. I don't know what happened.
It was one of the girl dorms.
Yeah.
What, you heard it many times in the
Yeah.
girl dorm?
Well, my college days. I spent a lot of time in the girls' dorms.
Man, they burnt
You
popcorn at that dorm.
animal.
The fire trucks were always at that dorm.
But I remember that because I remember the story, and I was there and heard the marbles, and it was like it sounded like, because the floors were all like hard floors, they weren't carpet or anything.
Yeah.
Linoleum. And it sounded like marbles dropping on the ground and then just bouncing, across the floor, just like marbles bouncing. I'm pretty sure it was something like with the heating ducts or something.
Yeah.
But it sounded like marbles, and it would happen frequently.
Yeah.
That was cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this Orpheum Theater and this,
yes,
they find somebody reads a story that this girl dies in front of it, so therefore it must be her, right?
Yep.
Sure.
Somehow she went inside the building.
Not some creepy homeless guy living in the air ducts. It's Ghost of a Girl.
This one description of the theater says it's said to be haunted by many ghosts, but the two most well known are Mary and a masked figure. So it's actually two different.
The
ghosts.
Phantom of the Megaplex.
So
that's an old
interesting
Disney movie,
yeah.
Disney Channel movie. Huh. Well.
Yeah. There you go.
There you go.
That's one of the many stories that I've came across.
One of the many.
If we can have a bonus episode, if you like, and I can go through them all.
Yeah, we could just read all kinds of stories from the internet. Well, okay, so who goes next, Chris? You or me?
I can go. I got a couple little short ones.
Oh, two.
Oh,
yeah, two. I couldn't pick between the two.
Oh,
they're so scary. They're so scary and spooky that you need to know about them as warning. Otherwise, things will happen. So yeah, this is the Dallas area. There's a place called the Alton Bridge, also known as Goatman's Bridge.
Oh, the famous
because it's a rumored site. Yes, the famous Goatman's Bridge. Ooh, goats. And it's supposedly there are satanic practices that have occurred on that bridge. Ooh, satanic. And because of these practices, there's a half goat, half man creature that was conjured there. And according to legend, if you park on that bridge and honk 3 times, the would-be called goat man will come and, I guess, hang out. Like, it doesn't say what he'll do. He just says,
it just kind of says, "Hey, how you doing? You got any trash I can eat?"
It's like, hey, you got a tin can? I'm kind of hungry. And yeah, ooh, scary.
Do you know that this is, since you said the Goat Man, that the Netflix show Sabrina the Teenage Witch or whatever it is now is being sued by the satanic cult or the satanic church for using the goat statue in the TV show?
Oh, geez, of course they are.
They're literally suing them for misrepresentation of who they are as an evil satanic cult.
Okay, all right.
Anyway, so what's your second story? Because how are you going to top that one?
I know. The next one I call The Haunting of JJ's Pizza. Ooh, pizza. So it was apparently a former jewelry store, which is even scarier than a pizza store, and a bar and club. And apparently the owner was shot by burglars in the basement hallway. The basement has a hallway, I guess. I know, it's kind of sad. It's kind of sad. But apparently he haunts J&J's Pizza now. And musicians that play there will have strange experiences because I guess he's a musician fan, haunts musicians. And a former employee woman said she was going to the bathroom and thought someone was following her, but she couldn't see anybody. Ooh.
You're so good at telling stories. It's like I was there.
I know. Going to the bathroom, someone's there, but they're not there. Ooh, scary.
Oh. All right. I'll tell my story and then we can get out of here. Oh. Cue spooky music. Probably won't, but this story is called Prankster Orphans Haunt the Spaghetti Warehouse. Italian. Says, don't let the quirky name fool you because the Spaghetti Warehouse is widely regarded as one of the most haunted places in America. Ooh.
Wow.
Did you know that here in Houston is one of the most haunted places in America at the Spaghetti Warehouse?
It's a spaghetti.
It's because they have a train inside of a warehouse that you eat in. It's
maybe so.
creepy.
Anyways, it says the building used to be a pharmacy until the pharmacist fell down the elevator shaft and died. His wife died a year later, supposedly from a broken heart, just like Natalie Portman in episode 3 of Star Wars.
Oh, sad.
You're breaking my heart, Eddie.
It was a 2-story pharmacy.
I know. They had all the drugs. We keep some drugs up on the second floor.
So the good stuff is.
I don't know. So, anyways, the wife died a year later, supposedly from a broken heart. She's been seen roaming the second floor of the now restaurant. But she isn't the only one haunting the building. Multiple spirit orbs have been photographed dust all over the place, and things frequently go missing or get rearranged. Also, someone seems to like untying people's shoelaces. Waitress Patty Chapa says she witnessed her shoelace floating parallel to the floor, stretched out. Woo! Spooky shoelace. Some think that it's the work of dead children. That's uplifting.
Where'd the dead children come from?
Well, here I'm about to tell you, because there's an old urn cabinet upstairs that used to store the deceased charges of orphanages when they had no money to bury them properly. Why did they store them in a pharmacy?
Yeah, the pharmacy would store them, or the spaghetti factory would store them. I'm looking.
But I guess the pharmacy, but they kept the cabinet at the spaghetti warehouse. But it says the disembodied voices of children can often be heard on that floor. I don't know. If I was... Okay, first off, if I was a business owner, you know what? I want to start a spaghetti restaurant, the Spaghetti Warehouse. Let's find a building. This building's that's Italian. That's horrible. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, everyone. And they show me the place. I'm like, oh, this is a nice place. This will work. By the way, over in the corner here is a cabinet that used to store dead children. Would you like to keep that around? Oh, sure. Why not? Why would you keep that in a spaghetti restaurant?
How good's the cabinet? Is it a nice cabinet?
I don't know. I'd be like, can you just take that, just move that out? And
it's free storage. That's where they keep the marinara.
But sadly, the Spaghetti Warehouse is not there anymore because during Hurricane Harvey, it got totally destroyed. The building's still there, but the restaurant is not. And somebody has recently bought the restaurant this summer and is going to restore it. So who knows what stories will happen next.
What's really scary is how low the prices were for a plate of spaghetti. Ooh. How could they sell that amount of spaghetti at those low prices and keep their doors open? Ooh.
That's the first time I've heard of like a ghost story involving someone untying their shoelace and it floating in the air.
It's true.
We went on a trip one time, a mission trip thing, and wherever we were at, I don't remember where it was, but there was a spaghetti warehouse. So it was during our days of youth in the youth group. I had and one of the kids in our youth was like really tall, and the spaghetti warehouse is known for their like fancy chandeliers and stuff over the tables. And he stood up, but he stood up too fast, and he hit the chandelier, and it like shattered into multiple pieces all over the table.
Wow!
And he was like, "Sorry." Like, get out of here! Okay, we gotta go.
Run!
So that's 3 stories from the towns we live in. As you can see, we sort of joked about them, and we probably don't believe in them.
What are you talking about? JJ's Pizza? That's totally true.
It's like these restaurants are all haunted. Wherever you go, there's a haunted restaurant. It's funny. One of your friends. I mean, I know her. Katie works on a Houston ghost tour here. She takes people on ghost tours of Houston.
Yeah, she's moved up. She manages, or like she helps set up other places like that in other cities now. That's cool.
Yeah, she's always advertising. Come do our host tour, because they do like a ghost tour of pubs and stuff, I think. So you can drink.
It's like walking tour type stuff.
Drink and see ghosts.
Yeah.
Those usually go hand in hand.
Drink and believe our story.
Yeah.
I have a bar ghost story of Memphis. Oh. I can add to it, since you all had food related ones. There's a bar called Ernestine and Hazel's. It's a famous place here in Memphis. It once housed a brothel upstairs. It comes to no surprise that the bar is haunted. The jukebox reportedly plays on its own, and ghostly figures have been spotted in the bar. Which I'm like, everybody's drunk, so how do you know what's going on? If you're crossing, it's a must visit, and the burgers are excellent. Okay, why did they put that in there? But anyways, so there you go.
So drunk people see ghosts.
Yeah, and the music plays by itself. That thing just turned on by itself.
That's the guy walking up, putting a quarter in, and it starts playing like, who started playing that? I don't remember putting a quarter in.
Over here, and then all of a sudden,
hey, where'd my quarter go? The ghost stole my quarter.
I don't know. It's funny. Like all ghost stories I've heard that involve around a restaurant or a bar, it's always some like goofy story. Like the music comes on, or there's somebody that watches women while they use the bathroom. Like I'm like, well, that's just a perv. That's not a ghost. or maybe ghosts are just pervs. I don't know.
I mean, it's probably right, because they can kind of go through walls and.
Yep.
Yeah, nothing else to do.
What else? Wouldn't you?
No. Wouldn't you?
Title of the episode, wouldn't you?
Yep. Oh, I got to think of the title of this episode. If I put Conspiracy Disney somewhere in the episode title.
Talk about Disney, though.
No, but then we'll get a lot of listens. That's what
we just talked about. Disney.
Yeah. Disney.
Did you know there's a Disney, Tennessee?
Oh, is there?
I didn't know that.
Over north of Knoxville, but not west of like Johnson City and all that. But yeah.
There you go.
Small little town. Yeah. If you look it up on Google Maps, you see some guy's house with cars in the yard and stuff. So it's not quite Disney World or land.
But they got a goat man. I'm sure they got a goat man there.
They probably do. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's going to wrap it up for our HalloGEEK. Also, this week or today, it was announced more characters coming to Smash Brothers. So there's going to be even more. You're going to have Ken from Street Fighter. You're going to have some Pokemon named Incineroar. And Piranha Plant.
Some Pokemon.
I don't know. I'm not a big Pokemon guy, so I don't know. And then the Piranha Plant from Super Mario, which I think is going to be interesting. So basically, you'll be playing with the plant from Little Shop of Horrors.
Pretty much.
Right? Pretty much.
Pretty much.
It just sings. It just sings the whole time.
Yeah. Feed Miss Seymour. Anyways. All right. Well, thanks for joining us. I hope you had fun on this weird, wacky Halloween
HalloGEEK.
HalloGEEK extravaganza thing from tonight. And we'll see you next. We'll not see you. We won't see you.
No, we don't see.
We don't see you guys who listen to us.
That'd be creepy. That'd be creepy. Way creepy.
We don't have drones that fly around to see who's listening to us.
We're not outside your window right now.
No, not at all.
No.
That would be really funny if somebody's listening to this and right when we said that part, like their doorbell rang or something. If that happened, let us know.
You can tweet us at
I Am Geek Show on Twitter. Email us at iamgeekshow@gmail.com. Find us on Facebook at I Am Group.
Check us out on YouTube.
Yeah, check us out on YouTube. I Am Geek Show. You can watch our Tesla video. Well, not ours, but Chris's.
It's ours.
It's
ours.
It's ours now.
It's ours now.
I'm claiming it, by golly.
And we'll be talking at you next week for episode 80. But this has been episode 79 of I'm Geek. Have a geektastic week.
Sure.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
Good.